Hey everyone, this is Talks with Kenny, and here I'll be reacting to a woke professor debating Josh Hawley. So, in this video, which you will be seeing in 3, 2, 1.
Professor Bridges, you said several times, you've used a phrase, I want to make sure I understand what you mean by it. You've referred to people with a capacity for pregnancy. Would that be women?
Many women, cis women, have the capacity for pregnancy. Many cis women do not have the capacity for pregnancy. There are also trans men who are capable of pregnancy, as well as non-binary people who are capable of pregnancy.
So this isn't really a women's rights issue.
We can recognize that this impacts women while also recognizing that it impacts other groups. Those things are not mutually exclusive, Senator Hawley.
Oh, so your view is that the core of this right then is about what?
So I want to recognize that your line of questioning is transphobic, and it opens up trans people to violence by not recognizing them.
Wow, you're saying that I'm opening up people to violence by asking whether or not women are the folks who can have pregnancies?
So I want to note that 1 out of 5 transgender persons have attempted suicide. So I think it's important
because of my line of questioning? So we can't talk about it?
Because denying that trans people exist and pretending not to know that they exist
I'm
is
denying
dangerous.
that trans people exist by asking you if you're talking about women having pregnancies?
Do you believe that men can get pregnant?
No, I don't think women can get
So
pregnant.
you are denying that trans people exist?
And that leads to violence? Is this how you run your classroom? Are students allowed to question you?
Absolutely.
Or are they also treated like this, where
No,
they're told that they're opening up people to violence?
We have a good time in my class. You should join.
I bet.
You might learn a lot.
Wow, I would learn a lot. I've learned a lot just in this exchange.
Absolutely.
Extraordinary.
Yep.
Is this what we send our kids to college for? To be indoctrinated by people like her? If that's the case, then there's no point in going to school anymore. College anymore, because it's professors like these that I believe that in a couple years, like 10 years, the earliest, 20 years, the latest, that college will lose its legitimacy in our society. Like having a college degree will mean nothing. It'll be like, okay, you got a degree, that's cool. Well, what can you do? Because the stuff they're putting in our kids' head, like imagine that. The only way, like you see the emotional manipulation she's doing, like the fact that he questioned her. Oh, how dare you question me? How dare you question me? You're denying the existence of other people, and for some reason now cause suicide. If you need someone to validate your existence, you have bigger issues. These lefty people only know how to emotionally blackmail, gaslight you. They don't have no real argument. Because I've seen other clips of her. I wanted to focus on this one because I feel like it really encapsulated. You see her eyes? She looked crazy, honestly. She looks crazy. Like, I wouldn't take her serious. I wouldn't even think she was a law professor. I would thought she was like they have some humanities professor, the way she looks. Like, now science is becoming politically correct. Now you have to be like, oh, trans men can get pregnant too. No, they can't. A woman is has X chromosomes. That's it. You can't change that. That's nature. And all these arguments I've been hearing so far from the left, I like to simplify things. The right argues from a nature point of view, and the left argue from a nurture point of view. The left believes everything is socially conditioned, while the right believes, hey, there's some innate biological ability that you're just born with. Men and women are just born. Men are born with 40% more muscle. Women are born with the ability to give birth. And the left have this new fascination with changing words, redefining things, right? Oh, it's no longer parent, it's now caregiver. Why they're doing that? Because they want to make it as vague as possible, so that way everyone is on the same level. Everyone is just saying, oh, I'm a caregiver just like you're a caregiver. No, you're not. I'm his parent. I'm my son's parent. You're his teacher. You're not a caregiver. Right? Is this way of like bringing down you to the same level as them, so that way they have some authority over your kid, so they can go and have some influence over your kid. I think it's all a big ploy to get us all to give away our power. Because to me, that's all the left care about. That's the only principle they believe in: power. Say anything, do anything to have power. And here's a quote that I hope you guys find value in this video. Here's a quote I want to give you guys. I heard somewhere on the internet, and it really resonated with me. If they can make you believe a lie, they can make you believe anything. I'll repeat that again. If they can make you believe a lie, they can make you believe anything. If they tell you, hey, a man can get pregnant, and no, that they can't. A man can't get pregnant. Hammering these lies over and over and over again until they actually condition us to accept it as truth. Now we're saying trans woman. Now we're saying this. No, that's a man trying to look like a woman. That's a man trying to masquerade as a woman. And if you say that, you're offensive. You're controversial. How? I have a different definition of the word than you. This word woman worked in the context that I'm saying it is an adult human female. It has worked for centuries, since the beginning of time. It's a tried, true, and tested definition. And then now you come along with your new modern thinking and you want to destroy all those years, all that historical data. You want to destroy it so you can start anew with this word, with this new definition that needs the word in itself to define it. Craziness. This is absurd. You can't define it. Your definition is vague, right? There's something called regression testing. I don't know if you guys want to look it up. It's an engineering term. And essentially what regression testing is that if you make a new change to something, you want to make sure that that new change doesn't break anything that the previous installment addressed, right? And this is what they're trying to do with this woman debate. What is a woman debate? Oh, woman is anyone who could define itself. And no, it's not. You're destroying it because we had a consistent measure and definition of a word, right? That was 90% on his worst day, 90% accurate, and on his best day, 99% accurate. Your definition is so bad that the person has to tell you who they are. And even when they tell you who they are, they can't define it. They can't empirically tell you how they are that thing. If they say I'm a dragon, okay, dragon has wings, a tail, and can breathe fire. Can you do that? They're gonna go, no, you're dragphobic. Are you crazy? Like, this is don't believe your eyes, trust what I tell you. The left wants to destroy everything. They want to make everything theoretical, so they can stay in this chaotic, vague, gray area, and they can debate you into circles. I don't believe her for a second when she say that, they're allowed to question me. No, because you probably going to talk in this snarky tone. I hate that tone. One thing about lefties that always put me off is that snarky, know-it-all tone. And they think you're dumb. When you ask them a simple question, not a simple question, you ask them a direct question, they think you're stupid for asking that. Why you so concerned of what a woman is? I'll say, bro, I'm just asking your definition of it. And I'm trying to compare your definition with mine, and I'm trying to make a value case decision. Hey, should I take the more modern definition that this person is trying to tell me, or should I just stick with the traditional one that's more accurate and works better than this one? Because this one caused a lot more errors. This one caused a lot more mistakes, and that's just the fact of the matter. Like, I live in reality, bro. Like, the objective is greater than the subjective. I don't care about your subjective reality. I'm based on reality, nature, God. If you don't believe in God, nature has a way of telling you what is right and what is wrong. There's only two genders. Oh, you want to make yourself look like a man? Okay, but your DNA is XX, XY. Your chromosomes are XX, XY. You can never change that. And if you do, what's the repercussions? You don't live long. Do their reassignment surgery, they still commit suicide because they realize they'll never be the other sex. They're always going to live a life of an imposter. When a transgender man transition to be a woman, and he's trying to figure out how can I give birth because I want to experience that, and he realizes he'll never be able to experience that. You don't think that will cause suicide? Because this is getting ridiculous, right? I remember pointing to a statistic out there that 73% of Americans along party lines cannot agree on basic facts. And this is a case study for that study. That's an example of that case study. They couldn't agree on basic facts. People with the capacity to give birth. What? Years of data of only one group of people being able to give birth, and that was women. Now you want us to ignore all that? You only been that lady only been alive, I don't know, maybe 40 years, 30 years. And she wants us to ignore hundreds, centuries of data, ignore history, essentially, and just believe her on her word. And then if you dare question them, they'll want to call you names. They want to gaslight you. This only works on emotional, empathetic people and children. And this is why I don't want these people near our kids. I don't know how we can come into the middle with these people, because these people don't want to be reasoned with. How do you reason with somebody that don't want to be reasoned? You come up reasonable. You trying to meet them in the middle. They don't want to even approach the middle. They're gonna be like, no, you have to come over here. You saw how she just took command over the whole situation. He asked her a question. She threw back a question at him. Huh? How disrespectful is that? I hate when people do that. You ask them a question and they skirt around it and they ask you a question. Right? That's what I notice whenever I debate my lefty friends or whatever. I ask them a very direct question and they ask me a question back, and I always answer the question. I always have to ask them, answer the question, yes or no, yes or no. And even then, when I try to say I just want to hear a yes or no answer, they give you an answer and then they give you an explanation at the end. I said I didn't ask for all that, because they're not used to defending their positions. They're used to attacking and criticizing yours. And the minute you put them on their heels and you say, hey, you defend this, defend climate change. Why should I believe climate change is a major issue that I have to worry about in 10 years? And then they give you the sticks and you be like, well, isn't it normal for temperatures to fluctuate throughout history? The earth don't stay the same. We don't stay the same. The climate don't stay the same. There's proof that the climate changed over time, always. So what's different now? What's so different now? Why the shift to green energy? We can just do carbon filters on the oil rigs and we can eliminate CO2. That's the cheaper option. We don't have to spend so much money. We don't have to spend trillions of dollars to revamp our whole infrastructure onto a new thing. It's because all the left care about is destroying what is now and building the world in their image. That's the only thing they care about. Power. It's always been their game. Conservatives believe in their principles, and this is why conservatives can disagree with each other even though they're in the same party. That's why they don't toe the party lines, right? And the Democrats, they don't like when people don't toe the party lines. You see that with AOC. AOC was talking so much junk about Nancy Pelosi. She was going to run against Nancy Pelosi. And then what happened? When it was time to answer the call, she went along party lines, because all Democrats can agree on, progressives can agree on, the corporate Democrat can agree on is power for the party. We can argue amongst each other, but when it comes to our side versus them, we'll collectively come together and go against them to push our agenda, and then we scuffle amongst ourselves. That's how the left do things, and so far it's been working, but not anymore, because when you're in a homogeneous culture, when you all have one line of thought, one line of thinking, you guys may look different, Democrats, but you all think the same. There's no innovation. Nothing left for you guys but decay and destruction. Y'all guys are going to crumble away because your ideas are not challenged. You guys don't challenge each other. You guys got no principles. All y'all care about is getting more power. And you always do this. You overreach and y'all fall off a cliff, like Joe Biden's approval ratings. I'll see you guys in the next one. Please like and share this video. I really will appreciate if you guys subscribe to the channel. It will mean so much to me. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.